evening and welcome to this week's episode of Eat, Crit and Survive Plays Board Game, where some friends have gathered from across the distance to play a board game together, digitally. We are back once again. We are playing a board game. My name's Luke. That is Dom below me.
Hello.
Who's just sort of staring off into the... just looking around his room trying to find things.
Finding my drink.
There we go. I've got myself some nice cranberry and raspberry juice. It's lovely. It's an odd thing to say, but the sweetness of the raspberries cuts through the sharpness of the cranberries, which feels paradoxical. But there we go. Such is the way of things. How are you, Dom? How are things?
Yes, I'm okay, and I'm annoyed you just cut off my chance to make a "you like it" tart joke by speaking over me. But there you go. I'll have everything.
I'm sorry. I don't try to cut over your jokes. I just speak, and then I hope that we avoid them, which is a whole different thing. We are going to be playing what is considered a classic by quite a few of the board gaming world, and it's one I've never played before. Certainly,
Never heard of it before.
It's one Dom's never heard of, and therefore never played, we assume. It's on this list of the top 100 games. It is, at the time that was printed, 15 on the top 10, top 100 of Board Game Geek. I think it has dropped a little bit since then. Now I want to know exactly where it sits on the top 100 games. So,
way to raise the expectations, Luke.
I know. It is now currently 30. Still pretty good. I mean, if you
Pretty
think...
good, yeah.
I mean, we've played Everdell, which is at 31. We've played Viticulture at 32. We've played Wingspan, which is at 25. All sorts of games. Scythe is 16. As much as we can pay attention to Board Game Geek rankings, I'm sure Ross and I will have opinions on that, which we will discuss at some point, I'm sure. But
Yeah, were you and Ross having a game last night?
we did have a game last night. We ended up playing part of An Age Contrived, which is a game that's currently on Kickstarter at the moment. We're not sponsored to talk about it. Don was just asking a question of whether we're playing a game or not. It wasn't a... this isn't scripted or anyway. But it was... we were playing a few rounds of An Age Contrived. We wanted to see how it is whilst it's on Kickstarter. It's available on Tabletop Simulator, so people can give it a go. It's interesting. It's an interesting little game. It's quite a unique experience. We didn't get to finish it because we started quite late. Because of our misunderstanding of how the rules work slightly. We sort of set ourselves back. But we enjoyed it. It was quite good fun. Yeah. That's what we were playing last night. What about you? What were you up to?
Well, I'm going to lose nerd creds, but I was exercising. I had quite a good run.
Oof. Ooh.
And then I took it easy the rest of the evening.
Fair enough. That makes sense. Laura and I went to the gym on Sunday, and my knee still hurts. Which is not a good sign of my overall fitness, just that I need to do more of it. But there we go. That is the price you pay, and then the price you pay is the price to go to the gym. So, there's that.
You did something. That's positive.
Yes, it is positive. And speaking of things that are positive, our episodes are, as always, brought to you by Game Tea, the providers of game-adjacent gear and goods. I'm getting better at my segues. Vote somewhere below whether that is true or not.
It's better than last time's.
It wasn't hard. I was not in a good mood after the technical screw-ups meant that I had to do the whole intro again. And the teach. That was frustrating. But anyway, Game Tea, the wonderful providers of gaming-adjacent gear and goods. They make some wonderful gaming art, clothing, accessories such as dice, t-shirts, art prints, all sorts of wonderful stuff, dice boxes, things like that. So if you want to go and check out, go to gametea.co.uk/eatcritsurvive or enter the code eatcritsurvive at checkout and you'll get yourself 5% off. A little bit of that comes to us and it helps keep things going around here. And if you want to see us playing some of the games that we have played previously, you can go to our YouTube channel, where we've got that board game playlist. You can see all the games we played, including last week's episode of Eat, Crit, Survive Plays Board Game, where we played Thunder Road Vendetta, which was quite good fun. And I managed to...
Fun.
managed to squeak a victory in that very
And
tight
I wasn't
race.
even annoyed.
No, it was one of those things of it could have gone my way. It really could have backfired. It could have also been hilarious if I'd hit something and crashed into you and then caused more problem. There we go.
Yeah.
Today's game probably doesn't have quite the same level of tension in the end gaming of it, but we'll see how it goes. We also have our YouTube channel. We have our D&D adventure. This week and next week, we are not going to be playing our regularly scheduled D&D adventure due to life events have happened for a few of us. Someone's moved house. There is a new member of the Eat Quick Survive family that has arrived. So that's going on for new parents. We just got things busy, and we're just going to take a bit of time just to chill out, have some fun with our friends, and not have to worry about streaming or anything like that. So we're going to be having that Friday off. Next Wednesday, we are going to be back with a board game before Laura and I head off to Aircon up in Harrogate, and we will have that Friday off as well because we'll be busy playing board games in the Harrogate Convention Centre. If you're there, come and say hi. We will love to chat to you. Good to see you. Alrighty, so today's game is Orléans, which I am trying to figure out how best to describe it. It is a game all about dealing with the market routes and trading and goods gathering, general city civilization building that is in the area around Orléans. We are just trying to develop the civilizations around there. I'm trying to see if there's an immediate description of the game that I could talk about. We are trying to achieve dominance in the various areas of medieval. Let's make it a little bit more obvious what I'm doing. We are trying to achieve dominance in the various areas of medieval France. You will gather goods, coins, and victory points via production, trade, development, and by committing to the common good. So there's a whole host of things that we're going to be doing throughout this game. The youngest player typically goes first, but Tabletopia has decided that Dom is going to go first as the blue player. Because why not? But a few of the steps in this game is going to be done simultaneously. So the first thing that we are going to be doing is we're going to flip over our event tile here, this hourglass. So we're going to flip it over from the stack, and this stack will help determine the length of the game. There are, I believe, 18 tiles in this overall stack. That's how many rounds we are going to have. The event that is pulled off the top here will get revealed, and that will then trigger at the end of the game. So it's something, the end of the round. Sorry, for us to something for us to consider and work towards to try and make sure we avoid the issue. And I think probably the best way to describe to sort of go through the teach of this game is to just play around and get an idea of what it is we're doing as we go through it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. So, step one is the hourglass phase. So we're going to flip over this event. And as it always is, we have this sort of light tile which sort of gives you an indication of what's going on. The first phase is going to be a pilgrimage. And in this instance, this is preventing us from doing a particular action. In this instance, we cannot go to the monastery and do the monastery action in order to claim monks. I will explain that more when we get into the actual actions, but for now, that is all we need to know. The next phase is the census. We determine who has the most and who has the least farmers, which is this track here. Every time we gain one of these various workers, we will advance up this track, so it will help us keep a track of how many of each worker we have in our bags. Which we, actually to be fair, some of them we may have to return to the supply, but we'll be able to see how far we're up on the track. At the moment we are tied, so there is no penalty or benefit to do. If for example we are later in the game and I was a bit further ahead, when this census turn happened, I would gain a coin for being further on the track, basically gathering taxes, I guess, is probably the thematic way. And in any player count other than a two-player game, the person who is furthest back will lose a coin. However, because this is a two-player game, whoever is behind will not lose out on a coin, which is a little bit nice. If there's a tie, no one gets a coin. So at the moment, neither of us are going to get a coin. Then we go to phase 3, which is our followers phase. Now, in the first round, this is kind of already done for us because we only have these 4 workers available to us, and they've all been pulled out of the bag. What will happen during this phase is we would normally draw followers out of our bag equal to the number at the top of this track here, this red track, this night track here. So at the moment we'll be drawing 4 out. So as we progress up this track, we will be able to draw more and more followers out of our bags, and that will be able to enhance our actions. So at the moment we have those, and we have put them out into our market. Then we proceed into the planning phase. The planning phase is we get to take each of our workers and place them out into the different action spots on our board. Once we have fully filled out the spot, that will basically do it. We can put as many of our workers out as we wish and put them into as many different action spots as we want to, and they will then be used in the next phase to trigger and do certain things. Place is considered activated as soon as all of its action spaces have a tile placed upon them. You don't have to place all the required tiles in the planning phase, so if I wanted to start off the castle action, I could just place my blue worker out here and my farmer. And if I wanted to use this black worker noble somewhere else, I want to put it in the monastery, for example, then I could do that as well. Now, in this first round, because we have that pilgrimage event happening, we cannot go to the monastery and do that action. We cannot prepare for that this turn. So that's something for us to keep in mind. Then we go into phase 5, which is our action phase. One at a time, we're basically in player order. We're going to start with Don. Is going to take one of the actions that we have fully activated, or pass. You do not have to take an action if it is fully loaded, but you may do so. If you do, you take the workers that are placed on there and draw them back into your bag so that they are used for a later turn. So we'll just go over the actions that are available to us at the moment. The first action is the ship action. If we go back over to the main board here, we are both starting off in Orléans with our workers up here. That ship action allows us to move along a blue water track to another adjacent city or connected city, gathering any goods that we may come across on our way there and putting them into our general supply, into our own supplies, so they are for point scoring purposes at the end of the game. The wagon action does the same thing, except you're moving across roads instead, picking up all the resources that you will come across as you go. The guild hall action lets you place out one of your guild halls, which are these little monopoly houses at the bottom of the board, and place them into a connected city that your worker is currently in, I believe. I will double check that, because I have been known to be wrong about these things, and this is a game that neither of us have played before, so...
Build a trading station in the town in which your merchant's token is present, if there's no trading station in that town already.
Yes, and the exception to that is Orléans. It's a big enough city that we can build multiple in there. So I foresee that in a 2-player game, we'll see us branching off and going in completely different directions around here and not really interfering with each other too much, but who knows, we'll see what happens. Let's see, that was the guild hall action. The castle action. The castle action allows you to progress up this red track. You would take one of the red discs, put it into your bag, and move one space up. On a future turn, when you do the draw up phase, you will draw 5 tokens, or however many is above that, as you go along. And for the most part, the rest of these actions down here are going to be moving up these tracks. The monastery action, which I talked about earlier, will get you one of these monk discs and let you put that into your bag. Those are considered wild. They can be placed on any of the worker spots out here. Monks are multi-use for anything. However, it does not go the other way. If you see a monk printed on a character board, only a monk can be placed there. So you cannot place a monk out where you cannot put a farmer out over a monk space, but you can put a monk over a farmer space. Does that make sense? Good. You're the only person I'm asking here, Dom.
Okay.
Alright. Cool, thank you. The farmhouse action lets you move up the farm track, taking one of the white farmers and progressing there. You will also gain the good that is printed at the top from the supply here. The village action allows you to take a blue sea worker, a brown a brown craftsman, and a black noble. I think that is what those things are.
Is that
Trader.
Or is that a trader?
Black trader. It is a trader, you're right. And you can place those into your bank. You would take one of those and put it in. The university lets you take a scholar and advance up this track accordingly. It will also gain you, as you gain one of those scrolls and put it in, and you move up the track, you'll gain this number of books, which will let you progress up this track here at the bottom. And this is your sort of civilization, your learning, your education track. As you bounce your way up here, you will cross over different levels of development, and you will add those into your supply. Also, if you ever come across one of these workers that you cross over, first person to do so will put them into their supply. They will be used for endgame scoring, which I'll explain in a moment. The other action to think about is the scriptorum action, which if you fill that in, you just move one space up this track here. Up this track, as we were doing with the university, just lets you move up one space at a time. The other option is the town hall action. Now, unlike all other spaces, you do not have to have filled in both of these spaces in order to take the town hall action. What the town hall action is it lets you take one of your workers that you have placed out and put them onto, where's the thing? It's over here. This board of good deeds. And you can place your worker out onto that spot. The only exception to this is you cannot place out your starting 4 discs because they are yours. You cannot be using them to build out here. So they are your original. They are loyal recruits. They will not leave you for anything. This breaks the rule of the monk exception. So monks can only be used on the monk spaces, and only their rightful colours can go onto them. If you are the last player to put out one of to fill in these areas, not only will you get the reward, as everyone else will, so anyone puts in, let's say, something into the Papal Conclave, they will get 3 money, but the last person to put something in there will also gain this person token. The only exception is this canalizations board, where that is going to be 1 money, or you can advance up the track that we mentioned earlier. And that is pretty much it, I think. That is one other thing. You may have an action which allows you to take a cog wheel, which is these brown workers here, so these farmers. When you gain one of these farmers, I probably should have explained those actually a little bit more, shouldn't I? Because I didn't explain that. If you gain one of the blue sea workers, you will advance up here and you'll gain a number of money equal to the number of monies above it. And it's just sort of showing that they are going fishing, they're sending their wares. If you go up the brown track, you will advance up and you will get one of these cogs. Now these cogs can be used, like in Paladins of the West Kingdom, you can take one of those and place it over one of your action spots. Basically meaning you don't have to place a worker in that section, so it's being automated effectively. Technology has come into place. However, in the first instance that you do that, the very first one has to be played over a white farmer spot. Okay. And then the other exceptions onto that is you cannot place it over a monk spot, a yellow monk spot, and you cannot place it if there's a building which only has 1 space on it, which we will get to now, because that is another one of the tracks that I didn't explain, which is the black. Why have I forgotten what the traders? Thank you. One of the black traders. As you advance up the trader track, you can go across and pick up some of these buildings. Now, these buildings are not secret information. You do not draw one from the back. You actually just flip them. You can just flip them over and take whichever one you fancy. So, in fact, I might just spread them out a little bit. These are the tier 2. In the first instance, you can only get the tier 1s, which will let you just get you sort of more basic actions. These ones, the tier 2 over here, they will let you take. They've got some slightly stronger actions that you can do with them. But as I was saying, you cannot place a gear token over one of these spots with a monk. And you also cannot place them over a space which has a single spot. So they cannot become a fully automated action. There has to be at least one worker put into them. And as I say, I think that's more or less everything. Oops. Let's put those there. So those are the tier 1s, these are the tier 2s. Put the tier 2s up there. And bring those back. There we go. At the end of the game, once we have finished our 18th round and we have resolved the event, that's the other step that we need to do, is we resolve our event. We will then see what it does, and we will pass it around. So in this instance, we don't have an event that triggers at the end of the game. This one's just ongoing throughout the entirety of this round. Once the last one is flipped over, we will go to end game scoring. And we will score based on our scoring of our goods. In fact, I'll do it on here because it's a bit easier to see. We score based on the points values on our goods, 1 point for each coin that we have. And then we will take the number of our merchant storehouses plus the number of worker tokens that we have received, and we'll multiply it by our civilization level to give us a big bump in our score. So that's something to keep an eye out as we go through the game. Otherwise, I think for the most part we are ready to play Orléans. There are some other bits and pieces that will come up as we play, but we'll sort of discuss those as they happen. Does everything make sense to you, Dom?
Yeah, more or less.
Okay. So we are pretty much into phase 3 at this point, which is we've drawn them out of the bag. So now we are planning. So we do this simultaneously. We put, our workers out. Now there is a variant that you can do which will let you, you can ask to have basically go do things in turn order, depending on what other people will do. I think we can sort of worry about that later on if we want to. I think for now we can just kind of just put things out and see what happens.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so I'm going to go with that.
Oh, interesting. I'm going for the castle.
Yeah, I'm contemplating if I want to do that too. I think having an extra worker seems like a good idea. Okay, so we are both finished. So now, Dom, it is your turn to resolve the action as you so choose.
So I've basically put my 3 dudes from the castle back in the bag and do the knighty stuff.
Mm-hmm. And we are the knights who say "ni," and we say "ni."
Right, so I get a knight's token added to my bag,
Mm-hmm.
and I move up the knight's track.
Yes. Okay, that's your first action. Is then my turn. I will do the same thing because I am wholly unoriginal. And I will also bump up. Alright. Then normally it would be Dom's next turn, but I'm assuming you're passing.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything else I can do.
Okay. I also cannot do anything, so I will also pass. So that brings us to the event phase, but we've already triggered the event because this is one that happens early on. So then we go to phase 7, which is the start player token moves 1 place to the left. Goes on clockwise. It means it's me. There we go. That makes life a little easier. So we are back to the beginning. So we are going to flip over our hourglass token now. Okay, harvest. Ooh, that's a harsh one to come out now. So, with a harvest event, what will happen at the end of the round is we will have to give up one of our resources, either wheat, cheese, or wine, or we will have to pay 5 coins. And if you are unable to do either of those things, then you will have to suffer torture.
Does it really say that?
That is well, I don't know if that is what it's called, but that's what Rodney told me when I was watching the video. It is called suffering torture.
Yes, you must undergo torture.
Yeah. Which
Okay.
is yeah, that's interesting. It's a bit of a harsh one to have right out the gate, so I guess we're going to be trying to make sure that we gain one of those goods. So, we now gain all of our... We basically both get to draw 5 workers out, but we only have 4, and we place them into our boards. And then we place out our different actions. So, I think I'm going to go with those. Okay.
One sec. I'm just checking where I want to go. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, good job I checked.
Wheat, cheese, or wine?
Yes, not just any good.
No.
You can paint your wagon. I'm gonna sail my ship. What should I do with my trader that I've got left over?
You can just choose to keep them back and not place them out if you want to.
Yeah, because even getting an extra dude this time, we'll still be able to lay everybody out.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Okay, so I will take my first action. I will do the wagon action. So I will take my 2 dudes, my 3 dudes, and I will wagon. Let's see. You're going by C, so I think I'm going to go to the spot which is going to give me the most options. And I will take this cheese. Okay.
And I'm going to sail down the river and pick up some wine.
Ah, well, are you going to potentially sail down the Silk River?
I can only move to the next stop, and wool does not count for the thing we have to pay this round.
Correct.
Nearly caught me out.
It almost did. All right. I have my second action, which is going to be farmhouse. So I'm going to put that through. That was actually a phase that we forgot to do in the at the beginning of this term, was to do the census. But because we're tied, it doesn't matter. So I get to progress up here. I get another white worker, which has gone into my hand for some reason. And I also gain a wheat. That goes into the bag there. That is my turn done. It will pass to you, but you have nothing else you can do, I believe.
Correct.
Alright, I will also pass, because there's nothing else I can do. And then we go into phase 6, so we will resolve our actions. So, starting with me, I will pay a wheat, which returns back to the supply.
And I'll pay some wine.
Alright. Then the start player token shall migrate back over to you, and we will start the turn anew with a new event. So this time it is Trading Day. And Trading Day gives you a coin per trading station that you have built. Which obviously at the moment we haven't built any, but that may change our plans for the turn. So some of the events are potentially good for us. Alright. Next we have... Oh, there's the torture. We'll discuss torture when it comes up, I think. I think at the moment we're trying to avoid it happening because it's not good. Basically, we have to pay a decent amount of goods, and it is...
You heard it here first, people. Torture is not good.
That is... I would like someone to clip this. Hey, folks. It's Luke here from It Survive. I don't know if you've heard about this, but torture is not good. Don't torture. In Orléans, avoid torture at all costs. That can be said for the board game and the modern day Orléans, really. Just avoid torture. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Right, so census happens. So I have the most farmers. So I get an coin. Yay, I'm rich. You do not lose a coin, which is fine. And then we will do our phase 3, which is drawing our followers out of the bag. We are both taking 5 followers out. Okay, I have options. Okay.
I do not. Well, not as many. Okay.
Alright, now we are going to do our planning phase. We get to put them out. I think that's where I am.
Do
Need to unlock it first. Okay, so in which case let's put you there. Okay. All good?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Take your first action, please, sir.
let's do the farmhouse, as that's a relatively simple one. So I'll return these to the bag and move up the farm.
Which gets you a wheat.
Get a farm dude and move up there. Being a wheat.
Okay. My first action, I say my first action, my only action this turn is going to be the Guildhall action. So I get to take one of my Guildhalls and I'm going to place it out onto my farmhouse. So remember, this is kind of crucial for endgame scoring. I say kind of crucial, it's one of the big endgame scorers. But that is my turn. I have now taken control of Chateaudun. Chateaudun. Wherever that is in France. Northeast or northwest of Orléans, apparently. Your second turn, sir.
Yep, I am driving my wagon and there's only one place to go. So I'm going to trundle up to Montargis and gain some wheat.
Very nice.
I am the wheat king, apparently.
Apparently so. But that's okay. Once you have made your bread, I have some lovely cheese that will go with that. I cannot do anything else with my action, so I pass.
Yeah, I pass also.
Okay. We then have phase 5, which is doing the technology stuff, so that's fine. Phase 6, we activate the round, so, or the event, so which was the trading day, so I will gain a coin. Boop. Ta-da. First player token moves around to the next, and we begin again. It's a lot snappier than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
When I was reading through the rule sets. Alright, our round this turn is a pilgrimage again, so this time we also cannot go to the monastery, which I think is fine because neither of us were really doing that anyway. Okay. Citizen track for the census, we are both tied at 1 each, or 1 extra, I suppose. So that's not a problem. Then we will draw our folks out of our bag. I only have 4 in my bag at the moment.
I have 6, but I only get to draw 5 of them.
You do.
So
I do not get.
So.
I do not get to draw any extra, which is a shame. Okay. And then we can place our workers out to do their workery things.
Can't do that. So, okay.
No, I don't have that locked.
Maybe what should I do with you two?
I think I'm going to keep them back, actually. I don't think it's worth me placing them. I only have one of those. I suppose I could put it... Yeah. No, it's only worth doing if I can do that. I don't think I can. Okay. I'm done.
I'm debating between two possibilities. Let's go with that one. Okay, I am done.
Okay. Alright. We shall undertake actions. So my first action, I'm going to do a village action. And I will claim for myself one of the worker labourers. So my guy is going to bump up this track and I get one of these cogs. Now I do not place this straight away. I place it after we have finished doing all of our actions. But I have that in place for now. And that then goes into my bag.
Yep, I'm doing exactly the same thing.
Okay. Right, I then pass. I can't do anything else.
Likewise.
Okay. I am going to place my cog over my castle action because it must be placed over a farmer this round. Don, where would you like to place yours?
I'm going to put mine in the village, just to be different.
Yeah, it's not a bad strategy. I like it. Okay, we have completed the action, so now we must fulfill the event, which was a pilgrimage, so nothing happens. First player token, we'll move on to the next. We'll move back, sorry, to Don. And then we go for a new round. It's unfortunate that these things don't stack. Now, this is... we will gain income based on our development level. Neither of us have been developing, so that's probably not going to happen. So we are both going to... Because we haven't gone past any levels on this track yet, we are both considered to have a level of 1, effectively, based on where we are at the moment. So until we get any higher, we're both going to get 1 coin at the end of the turn. Then we will have our census. We are tied for that, so nothing will happen. And we will draw out of our bags. Again, taking as many as we can.
What about my 5 remaining things?
Hey, Blunderbuss, welcome along, incoming friends. How are you, kind folks? How's things going? Hey, Paula. Hey, Hornist. Welcome along, welcome for the raid. Welcome to Orléans as we are playing it through. How was Humblewood? How was it today? Anything, Matthew, throw anything chaotic at you? The bus comes crashing through. I am very excited to be going up to Aircon and seeing quite a few people who I haven't seen in about a year since the last Aircon. Who were people that were at part of this raid. Some of you, I hope. Very exciting. Alright, have you... Right, time to assign our workers. I realise you may have been doing that whilst I was waffling on.
Not waffling, you were engaging.
I was engaging. I was certainly engaging something. How is everyone? How are the Blunderbuss Raiders? How are you folks? Let's see, what am I going to do with myself? I have actions, we'll need to do stuff. Let's go here. I seem to be setting myself up for hopefully good turns. Yeah.
I was hoping you were setting yourself up for failure.
Well, that may also be a possibility. Who knows? Alrighty. Okay, so actions selected. You are the first player, so what actions will you be undertaking?
I'm going to build a guild hall where I am with these people.
Mm-hmm.
So just want that on the map.
Nice.
And I've also done the castle to get myself another knight.
Well, we only one action at a time, so it's
okay.
Comes over to me.
Yep.
I have done a castle, so I'm going to get myself another knight. Not to steal your thunder from that or anything. I will move you up the track as well as I'm here, and I'll bring one down for you as well.
Thank
to the
you.
top section of your board. I have no other actions to undertake. Do you have any actions?
Nope, those were my two: build a guild hall and make a knight.
Lovely stuff. Alright, so that is our action. So we are now going to have to resolve our event. So we're both going to gain a money.
Yay! One step further from torture.
Yay! We're not getting tortured. Always a bonus. Alright, and start player moves across to me.
Blink.
And we carry on with our turn. So we are in... What time are we at now? I'm curious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That can't be right. I think this must be round 6 then.
Yeah, out of 18.
6 out of 18, so we're a third of the way there.
Yeah, it's definitely going a bit faster than I thought it would reading the rules.
Yeah, I feel like once you build your engine up a little bit and you get your workers in place, then I think it really does start to speed along. Plague!
That doesn't sound good.
At the end of the round, when a plague happens, we will have to reach into our bag and discard a random villager we have put into there, or one of these town folks, one of these chips, unless it happens to be one of our starting folks, which have the coloured bases. If we draw one of those out, we don't discard them, which is always nice. However, what is not so nice is the fact that I'm only drawing 3 things out of my bag today, of a possible 7. Or possible 5, actually, is where we are. No, 6.
6.
I'm tired.
Numbers, what do they mean?
Mm-hmm. Alright. Right, so I've done that. So I'm going to start assigning these folks. I think I need to do that.
Well, that would probably make sense.
Now, if we lose one of our employed folk, one of our new people that we have brought in, we do not regress along the tracks. I don't think there's anything that forces you to regress, but it is something to be aware of. Alright, are you decided, sir?
Nearly.
Okay. Let's watch. No pressure.
I'm just debating the relative virtues of getting another knight versus going trading. I can't get another knight, so that's quite easy, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you go up there, and yeah, let's stick you on the board. Ready. You know what? Let's send you to university. Let's try spicing things up a little.
Yes, let's get some new folks in play. Alright. All actions selected?
Yep.
Okay, I am going to start off with a village action. So I'm going to put those workers back in. I'm going to get myself a blue fisherman.
You do like your money?
I do like my money. I'm also a big fan of making my actions easier for myself. So you know what? I think I am going to go again. I'm going to go with the original plan of just making my life a little bit easier. So I'm just going to take one of these workers and a cog, a gear, so I can do that.
So not a boatman.
Not... Sorry? Sorry, no?
Not a boatman, then.
Not a boatman. I've changed my mind on this. I've decided I want to do other things. Right, it is your turn.
Well, not to help you, but yeah, I'm going to using the village thing. I'm getting a brown dude and a cog.
Okay.
Well, automation seems good.
Yeah, I think it does. I think being able to... I think the option to play out more actions a turn seems like a wise one. Alright, my second action is going to be a wagon action. So those are going to go back into the bag, and I'm going to migrate from where I am. I am going to go down here, and I'm going to get myself a silk.
Nice.
Okay, your turn.
I'm also going
A wagoning.
But I'm going back to Orléans, fading in cheese.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Wheat and cheese. Okay. So that is the end of my turn, so I can't do anything. So now we will resolve our cogs. I'm going to place mine in the farmhouse. So now we can place them over any worker space we want to, except for ones that are depicting a monk. So I'm putting it over there. So I've got the farmhouse ready to go next turn. You also cannot place them over an action space that already has a cog in it. So you can only reduce it by one each round.
Yes.
Or each game, sorry, I should say.
Let's put over that spot in the university. I'm trying to do something smart, I hope.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Good progress across the university is a good idea. Okay, now we will resolve the event. So we are going to be drawing... We have a plague, so we're going to draw something out of our bags. Huh. Hey!
Yes, it's an original!
It's an original! We both succeed on that one. Excellent. So, there you go. That problem was dealt with rather swiftly. What plague? In fact, I'm going to save myself from having to bounce around a little bit more. I'm just going to set another camera to do that. Okay, let's have a look at... this one, the pilgrimage again. So no monkey business. We have our citizen track. We are tied on that, so no happenings there. So now we draw our workers out. So we are drawing 6 this time. That's what we like to see.
That's not a very diverse selection.
Well, it is France. I don't know why I said that. France is an incredibly diverse country.
Let's send you to the F-Stars.
Alright, time to deploy some folks.
And then I have Trader Night Worker. Oh, that's something I can do. So let's do it.
I feel like we're going for different strategies, but for good reasons. And, you know, I think that's a good thing to have gone for completely different strategies in this game. I feel like we've got a fixed number of options, but we're going for different things. And I can see what you're going for. Sneaky.
Oh, it's not really possible to be sneaky, is it?
No, it isn't. It's all pretty open information, isn't it?
Yeah, I can leave my knight loitering on my board. I'm not going to run out of spaces next turn.
Alrighty. So, sorry, I'm just seeing messages pop up from Facebook of updates to the wedding invite. So I will have a look at that later. Alright. So, you are first with your action, so please do your action as you so choose.
I'm going to go off to university. So I gain a scholar and move up that book learning track.
That book learning. So that now lets you bump up this track 2 spaces.
Nice.
Zooming in and out. Looking at scrolling on one thing is maybe zoom in and out of another. Okay. Why are you there? Why did I put you there? I do not remember. I also don't remember when I put you there, so I'm just going to have to leave them. Okay. I am going to start off with a farmhouse action. So I'm going to gain a new farmer. Go up that track and gain a wheat, which I'm putting into my hand apparently, because it's easier for me to then manoeuvre around the board. Go into the bag. That goes there. Your turn.
My other thing that I've completely staffed is building another guild hall.
Mm-hmm.
So I shall do that.
Okay, I'm going to switch back over to me whilst you're doing... let's have a look at where you're doing it. So
Yeah.
yours is now in Orléans.
Yeah, so that's where my merchant is.
Nice. I am also going to be doing a guild hall. Mine is not in Orléans. Mine is instead over here in...
Vendôme.
Vendôme. Excellent. That's that set up. Do you have any other actions you wish to do this turn?
I mean, there's ones I wish to do, but I can't.
That you are able to do this turn?
Nope.
I have one final action I can do, which is I can do a castle action. So I'm going to put those 2 back in. I'm going to go up the red track once more. Sorry,
That
that's
was
you.
me. I mean, you can give me your knights if you want, so I can defect.
Alright, that is the end of that. So I will now pass and we will now resolve the event, which was the pilgrimage, so nothing happens.
Yep.
The shield returns to me, like Captain America. And we move on to round 8.
Captain France.
Captain Le France. There is a Captain France in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Taxes. So, for every 3 goods that we have, we will have to pay a coin. When we come to the end of the round. Which...
That's not terrible.
Not terrible. It's 1 coin. We have 3. Okay. Now I will gain a coin because I have a higher position on the farmer track.
You do.
Which is just... I'm very slowly accruing individual points. It's not necessarily going to help me, but I am very slowly doing it. Then we shall draw our workers out of our bags. I am now drawing 7. Which is deeply satisfying.
Whereas I'm still drawing 6. But I think that's going to be okay.
Yes. Alright, and then we will place our workers out as we did before. So you can go there. You can go there. You can go there.
Oh. Yes. Obvious things obvious.
I think I do. So I'll just set myself up for a future turn, I think. Well, I'm setting myself up for a sea turn that I don't have. I'm currently not in a place which is connected by any water, which seems a little bit dim. But hey ho. Alright, that is the end of the setup phase. Time for some actions. Alright, I'm going to start off with the farm action. I'm going to bump up here. I'm going to get myself some lovely cheese. Did I take my wheat? I didn't. I did take my wheat. Yes, I must have done, because otherwise I would not.
Wheat.
I have a wheat. I think I got cheese, silk, and I got a wheat in the first round because I wanted to avoid having to, or the second round because I wanted to avoid having to pay for things with cheese. So I did that instead. That's fine. Cool. That's me done. First action.
Yep.
Back in the bag. First action.
I will do the village.
Mm.
Take a brown dude and a cog, and go up that track.
Okay. I will also do a village action. And I will take... this time I will take a fisherman, I think. No, I'm going to stick with... I'm going to stick with doing the useful thing that is advancing up this track and making actions cheaper. However, now neither of us are going to be able to go up that track anymore because there are no more workers to claim.
Yeah.
So until they get returned to the back to the board, which they can do, they may do at some point, we are not going to be able to progress.
Plague, maybe.
Yeah, because of the plague, then we are not going to be able to progress up those anymore. All right, Dom, your turn for an action.
Before they all clear off for another pilgrimage, I better go to the monastery and get a monk.
Very nice.
There we go. There's no monkey track.
Nope. I have seen that there book learning that you've been doing. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go to the university. I'm going to progress and get myself 2 spaces. Boop de boop. However, you're about to do the same thing and take that person.
Yeah. So up to the track and advance 3 spaces.
Very nice.
3.
And you get this person who will now sit.
Citizen.
Who will just sit there.
I'll put them with my goods because that's where I'm storing all my collectibles.
That's fair. I have nothing else I can do this turn. Another action anyway.
Likewise.
Okay. Alright, so now we place our cogs. I think I've got 2 options. I'm going to think about I'm going to think out loud because I think it's beneficial for those thoughts. I'm either thinking of making it easier to go to the monastery by making it just so you just have to put the black worker in place, the trader, or I'm going to go and make it easier for me to go to the village by covering up the seaman that's there. Don't giggle at that phrase. Child. I think I will cover up the fisherman. Because I have a lot of white and I have a lot of farmers and I have a lot of labourers in the bag. So I think, and I don't have a lot of fishermen, so I think it might be prudent to deal with that more. What are you doing with your cog?
Well, as I'm going down the development route, I think it might make sense to try and automate the guild fall.
Not a bad idea.
So I'm going to cover the white farm worker because I seem to have plenty of brown labourers and red knights.
Okay. Alright. That will bring us to the end of that round. So the shield will revert back to you as we deal with the event.
Our penalty.
Which is paying a coin each. Oh no.
Slightly closer to torture.
Slightly closer to torture. There you go. Right. Flip over. Okay, so this is another income phase, so based on how far we have developed up this little book track. So at the moment, Dom is going to be getting 2 monies. Now, I have got a bit of distance between Dom at the moment, so I will gain myself another coin back from the income, effectively. And now we shall draw out our workers. 7 for me, 6 for Dom.
Hang on, I'm having trouble. My
What's up?
monk does not want to go in my bag.
Do you want me to see if I can?
Yeah, have a go.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a bag. I wouldn't imagine there's a bag limit. Let's just. No, the monk just doesn't want to go in. Do you want to just grab a different monk token and we'll just put that one off to the side if we need to?
Yeah, there we go. That monk went in.
We will need.
Well,
we probably will need that faulty monk, but
I'll put it up at the top.
Put it at the top. We'll come to it last if we absolutely have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Whoops. What happened there? just give
Something clicked.
I gave myself more money. That's what happened. So I'm going to undo that. All right. So I'm going to take my 7 workers out. Oof, that's a lot of brown and red. Buzz phone.
It is being rather noisy.
It's right by the microphone, so I apologise for that. I will move it over here, out of the way. It's over there doing its over there thing. Okay, let's start doing actions, shall we?
So I have. Oh, that's a good. Yeah. No, it's not. That's a good idea.
Do I want to do that with those two? No, you know what? I don't want to do that with those two. I'd rather put you there. I'll just keep you for... No, I'll put you over here. Okay. Alright, are you done?
Yes.
Okay, what would you like to do?
Okay, first thing I am going to do is... Yeah, let's use the ship action and sail down the river from Orléans to Blois, pick up some wool.
Very nice. Okay. I will do the village action. I will trade in these 2 fine folks, and I will get myself a... I'm going to go up... I'm going to do the first of these. I'm going to go up the Black Builder? Noble? I'm not sure. I forgot what they were. Trader, thank you. Track, and get myself a new action spot. So this will give me an additional level 1 action. I get to choose which one I want to take. Let's see what I've got here. Now that's interesting. So I'm going to hover over these for a moment so that we can sort of see what they are. And I can make sure I understand what's going on. So the monk can go to the brewery and get 2 coins. The boathouse will let you... Let's see what it is. The bathhouse, sorry. You draw 3 tiles from your character bag. You choose 2 of them. Immediately place the 2 chosen tiles on appropriate action spaces. You cannot place these tiles on the bathhouse. Immediately put the third tile you have drawn, as well as the follow-up from the bathhouse, into your bag. You cannot place the 2 tiles. Only place 1 or none. So that's quite good. That lets you get extra actions going. That can be interesting. Let's see. The hospital lets you gain money equal to a development status. The school lets you use scholars, the grey tokens, as any other character type except for monks. The horse wagon lets you move your merchant token along a road and collect a good if available, so it's a cheaper version of the wagon action. The herb garden lets you use boatmen instead of craftsmen, traders, and farmers. The sacristy protects you from negative events when activated. The gunpowder tower lets you expand your market by 2 spaces. Interesting. The laboratorium lets you reserve a technology tile. Oh, that's interesting. So this, where is it? Is it here? Or is it one of the level 2? No, it is. No, that's one of the level 2, sorry. So this action lets you just take a technology tile. Oh, that's potentially interesting. I can only take one of the level 1s though. So we've got all of these which will just give you a resource. I think I like the bathhouse. I like having that as an option. I think that's potentially quite a good action to have. Like I just need to put a farmer on it, and I get to draw some things out.
Yeah, you use a farmer to draw 2 and keep the one you want.
Well, it's draw. Well, I don't know if they've changed. Oh, is that 2 or is it 3? It is 2. I think the rule set that they have printed on here they have changed. So it is draw 2 tiles of the bag, put 1 back. So it's a little less powerful as it's described in the rule book. But that's okay. It's still pretty powerful.
Yeah, that's still pretty good.
Gives you a potential to do more actions. All right.
Yep.
What's your next turn, Dom? Apologies for that.
No, that's okay. It was interesting to go through them. Yeah, let's
back to uni.
Go to university again.
I'll move you up the track. Boop. That gets you 4.
Got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I get 3 coins.
You do get 3. Do you get 3 coins? I need to get on that track because that seems like that's a good place to be. All right.
Do you want to be racing me on it when I've already got a lead and I'm going to be sucking up all the good stuff? Or
well, I mean, it seemed
something different.
It seemed to work for me last time.
True.
I will.
Hopefully, there's less chance of me crashing this game.
It's not nil. All right, I'm going to the farmhouse again, so I'm going to get myself a farm worker and some cheese. I feel like going ahead on one track is almost worth it if you drop behind on another. I don't know how well this scoring balance is, so I don't know how beneficial it is to go on one over the other. Anyway, it is your turn, sir, if you have any other actions you may perform.
Yes. I'm just looking to see what this thing I've decided to do actually does.
Or the scriptorium.
Scriptorium.
That just moves you up 1.
One development point and moves you up 1 on the development track, yes.
Yeah.
So,
not the worst thing.
Yeah. It's progress, and I wasn't doing anything else with those people, so...
No. I do not have any other actions remaining to me, so I am done.
Likewise.
Okay. So now we have our event, we have our income. You will gain 3 money, I will gain just the 1.
Woohoo, now I am rich.
Now you are rich. Alright, the token passes to me, and we'll have our next event. Hey, Dark Paladin Dragonheart. How's it going? Welcome along. Harvest. So this is going to be a wheat, cheese, or wine must be removed, or pay 5 money. Luckily, I think we both have wheat, so I think this is going to be a very mild event. However, I'm going to gain money because I am further up the track than you are for the farmers.
Indeed.
And now we shall gain our many workers.
Or some workers, depending on how far up the track we are.
Dark Paladin Dragonheart says, doing well. Looks like you picked a winner here. In terms of strategy or the game in general? Because I think both could be true. I have no idea if I'm winning, but I feel like... Oh, it's one of your favourite games. Excellent. Well, hopefully we're not butchering things too much, and if we get stuck, we can ask for help. So we can now set out some different options. I'm going to put you there, because I think that's going to be fun to do. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Seems like a good plan.
Let's put you there to do that. I have to save that for a little bit.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
We are also allowed to look at what's left in our bag, so that is good to know.
Oh, where's the fun in that?
I know. I'm going to put you there, I think. Currently useless, but... you know what? No, I'm going to put him there. Okay, cool. Alright, so me up first. So I'm going to do the university action. Ooh, am I? Do I want to do the university action? I mean, I'm almost certain you're going to do the university action at some point. But there's 5 left. I can afford to loiter on this. Alright, I'm going to trigger the bathhouse. So I'm going to draw the 2 workers that I left in my bag out. Yay. And I will place that one there, and then these 2 go back into my bag. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, yeah, well, as predicted, I am going to go off to university.
Mm-hmm.
More scholarship for me. And 5 spaces on the track.
Yeah.
Takes me up to level 4 and gets me 4 coins.
Nice. Alright, well, I may as well go to university and get myself some stuff, so I will go up 3 spaces on this track. 1, 2, 3. At the very least, it's going to give me some cost effectiveness. Right, it is your turn, Dom.
Yeah, what should I do next? Yeah, let's deal with the monastery next and get myself another monk, hopefully
Nice.
a non-defective one.
Yay.
That monk
So-
has gone in the bag. It appears to be non-defective.
Hooray. Dark Paladin Dragonheart. I know there's a few expansions that have been released for Orléans. What do they do, just out of interest? I'm curious. I know there's a lot behind this game. I know there's quite a bit of a cult following of this. Alright, I am going to do a wagon action, so I'm going to take those guys back into the bag. And I will meander up and get a wheat.
Now, speaking of trading, I'm going to be building a guild hall in my current place.
Nice. I was anticipating you doing that, which is why I didn't go down the road to
Yeah.
where you are. Because I am also going to be building a guild hall. Yeah, Dark Paladin says they don't believe they have played the expansion. Yeah, fair enough. I was just curious. I'm getting more and more intrigued by the concept and I say not the concept, by the application of expansions these days. I'm finding I'm wanting to play less new games and wanting to sort of explore the depth of games a little bit more with the various expansions. That's not to say that I won't pull out a new game every so often, like the last 2 weeks, for example. That was my turn. What are you doing with yourself, Dom?
Shouldn't your guild hall be in Vendôme, where your dude is?
My dude should have moved up there instead of the guild hall that I put up there. I grabbed the wrong thing.
Alright. There we go.
Eddie?
I don't think I have any more actions this round.
It does not look like it, no.
That is all my things sorted out.
Okay, I have a final action I can do, which is a village action, which I will do. Do I want to get... Yes, I think I will. I think I will get myself another trader. Get that in place, and I will get myself another action spot. I think I want the laboratory. I think that's one of the strongest options for potential actions.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's pretty strong. Okay, that will bring us to the end of the actioning phase. So now we will resolve our event. I will be paying a wheat.
As would I.
And then we will move on to the next one. Dom, take the shield back.
Yeah.
And we get our new event. I reckon we're just over halfway through. And we have another income event that will happen, so we'll be getting some more monies. Alright, beginning of the round, I gain the benefit for being higher on the citizen track. And now I shall draw out my 7.
That's annoying. I did not get what I wanted. Ah, well.
Neither did I, but I at least I have options to deal with it. I may have to start dispatching people to go and do things elsewhere. Based on some of these draws. Alright, let's do that. Let's get you up there. You can go there, and you can go there. Okay, I am done.
I am still plotting. Apologies.
No worries. Take your time.
I have many brown dudes to find spaces for.
Well. Jeez.
Does not feel good. Let's do that. No. No, it sticks to the fan down the neck.
You guys have a plan?
Well, I hope so, because otherwise this is a very bad round. So I am placed.
Okay. It is.
I actually have no actions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that really did not turn out for you.
Well, I'm hoping I'm setting up for a good turn next round.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. I will start things off with a. You know what? Let's do it, but I'll do the bathhouse first. That seems like a smart idea to do that first. Unless I don't get what I want. Okay, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make use of what I've ended up with. Nope, I don't want the bathhouse. I'm going to lock that tile in place so I don't accidentally pick it up. So that goes back into the bag, plus this one. You have already passed, so I can just keep going.
Yep.
I will take my castle action. Which gets me another red. And gets me the citizen. Oops. The joys of Tabletopia. Accidentally clicking onto things. I said accidentally, not the name of a branded digital assistant device. Alright, I'm going to go to do my villager. I will choose to get... I will get another black trader. I like having these extra actions. But I think I'd like to get a passive bonus. So, let's see. I think I'll take this one. So the grey scholar can be used in place of any other worker except for monks. I think that's an interesting development. And then my final action this turn will be a farmhouse action. So I will now gain a wine and a white worker. Into the hand for the moment. That goes there. That goes there. Okay. I feel like I need to start thinning my bag out a little bit more now.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping I've done by sort of filling up some spots. And maybe sort of next time out it'll sort of start coming together and...
Yeah. Okay, so first we gain some income. You're going to gain 4 money. I'm going to gain 2. So I'm dropping behind on the income at the moment, but I'm hoping I will make up for it with just a lot of stuff. And then the shield will pass over to me. We will draw a new event. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 of these events left to play. Stacked in a way. Harvest. So this is going to be another wheat, cheese, wine situation.
Look.
Alright. Well, I've got a wheat, so I'm not too fussed about that. Alright. I gain another income for being further on that track. And I will gain 7, not 8. There is only one progression. There is an 8 option for my next step on that castle track, should I achieve it.
Oh, nice.
Okay, well, I want to be able to do this. Okay, let's go up to there. You there. Oh, no, let's go for it. Why not? Let's go for it. Let's bloody go for it. In fact, yeah, sure, why not? Let's do that. Let's do it. Let's do a thing. Okay, I am decided with my actions.
As am I.
Okay. So, I am going to start things off with a bathhouse action. So 2 more come out of the bag. Okay, I guess you're going. I guess I'll take the white worker. That can go back in the bag. And you can go back in there. Okay, your turn.
I'm going to start off by shipping.
Okay.
So let's sail down to Tor. With a bottle of wine.
Lovely. Sounds delightful.
It really does. I do like the idea of a canal holiday. My issue is that most canal holidays seem to revolve around using narrowboats, which are short, and I am tall. So I'm comfortable.
You know what? They're not as problematic as you might think. Because I did a couple of narrowboat holidays when I was younger, with my family. My father is also pretty tall. He's a little bit shorter than I am, but he was able to sort of mostly stand up in several places. Alright, have you finished your action for this turn?
That's one action, yeah.
That's one action, yes. Okay, so it's now me. I'm going to university. So go join the freshers. And progress 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 4. Gain a grey and gain 4 monies. Okay. What's your turn?
Sorry, were you gaining 4 monies?
Sorry, 3 monies. I went one step too far. 3 monies. I am on the.
Yeah.
Crossed over the 3 here.
Yes, the things that can be picked up only the first person gets, the other ones everyone gets.
Yes.
Okay, right, anyway, now I've sailed down the river to a new place, I'm going to build a guild for there.
Okay.
Get over there, building.
Cutting me off. That's unfortunate. Okay. Well,
yeah, you're free to wander around the other way. You can do You can even go back via Orléans.
That's true. I could do that. I could wander along the road and then come down and then go off that way. It's true. Okay. Right. What actions do I have left? I'm going to do my last castle action, because I am now at the top end of that track. And I can now draw 8 from the bag each round. Your turn.
University again it is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's grab another scholar and go to the end step and up 6 steps on the development track.
Wow.
So I'll need to visit the scriptorium once if I want to go to level 5 development.
Yes.
But still, it's pretty good going, I think.
That is pretty good. Alright, I'm going to get these guys back and do a village action. I think... Yeah, I like having the extra action option, so I'm going to do that. I don't know how beneficial it is. I have no idea whether I'm doing a good strategy or not. It's just what I'm doing.
Yep, similarly.
So, let's see, what can I do? Yeah, I'm going to take this one. I'm going to take the horse wagons. So that lets me do a move action cheaper. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the monastery and acquire another monk because I'm finding the wild card ability quite useful.
Yeah, I'm beginning to regret not going into that. Okay.
Anything else from you?
Yes, I have one action. I'm going to do a town hall action. I'm going to do the first town hall action.
Ooh.
And I'm going to be putting my knight into the papal conclave. So I'm going to be gaining 3 monies.
Oh, you get that each time you put a thing in.
You do.
Ah.
But I do not get the worker. You only get the worker if you are the last person to put something in.
Yes.
That is my turn. Are you passing?
Nope, I still have one more action with the farmhouse.
Oh, nice.
So I get a farmy dude. I go up and get a wheat, which is almost certainly immediately going to be given away in taxes.
Yes, so we are both going to end our turns, and we are going to give away wheat. I feel like it might be a thing that those are supposed to be discarded when they are sold off as part of the taxes, but I don't remember, and it's too late to change it now. Right, that passes across to you, and we will have a new event. We have 6 rounds remaining. Plague.
Okay, that is
So
good.
Bad things happen. Alright, I gain an income for being further up the farmer track. And then we shall gain people. I gain 8 this time. I'm gaining the maximum peoples.
I have a very studious group of 6.
Ooh, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay. What the heck do I do with this?
That's a very, very interesting question.
Definitely want to do that.
Let's do that. You can't do anything yet. You can't do anything yet, and I don't want to hold you back. Because if I hold you back, I then can't draw up. So I may have to just deploy you for a ship action and just leave you there for a bit.
I have nowhere to put that extra scholar. That's interesting.
Do you not? No, no, you don't. You only have. I think you
good
cut.
places.
Interesting. In which case, you'll just have to hold on to it.
Yep, not a problem for me.
No. All right. It is your turn first.
Yeah. Okay. Well, kind of doesn't matter what order I do them in, so let's do the scriptorium first,
Mm-hmm.
and just go up another spot.
Nice. Maximize your levels in things. Okay. I'll do the boathouse, or the bathhouse, sorry, and see what I get. Okay, that hasn't exactly done what I wanted to, but it will do for right now. So I will take the black merchant, and I'll put them into the horse wagon. So I've got that as an option later. I've had this laboratory for 3 rounds, and I have not drawn a scholar. Just only slightly frustrating. What's that done?
I mean, you've not been as scholastic as I have.
That's true. I have been focused on other things.
Yeah. Okay, I'm off to the monastery again. Get myself another monk.
Why not?
Just pick one up, you know.
Yeah. Go out on the pole. Your traditional French affair.
Hey, dude, come and work for me. My chances are so Gregorian, you would not believe it.
Alright, I'm going to do the horse wagon ability. So I'm going to put those 2 back in the bag. And I'm going to maneuver myself so that I get some cheese. I am Cheese King, apparently.
Nice.
I have many cheeses, many goods. Alright, your turn, sir.
I'm going to use my town hall and send 2 scholars off to study how to defeat the plague.
Very nice.
It's going to give me 4 coins.
Yes. Okay. I will do a village action. And I will gain a fisherman to get the 2 monies that come with it. Will that be wise? I don't know, but it's what I've done. So don't judge me. Anything else?
From me, no, I am done.
Okay, I am also done. Oh no, actually no, sorry, I have another farmhouse action I can do. So I'll do that first. Gets me another worker. Gets me a bit further into the league. Gets me another wine. I think my last few turns are going to be very much a case of, right, let's get these workers out to do the greater good actions.
The greater good.
The greater good. Stop that! Right, that is the end of my turn, so that brings us to the end of the round, and we have a plague action will happen, so we draw someone out of the bag, so let's...
Oh dear, I've lost a scholar.
I have not. I drew a merchant that was one of my original merchants.
So that goes into the Black Bag of Oblivion?
Black Bag of Oblivion it is.
That's fine. I have an excess of scholars.
You do have quite many scholars. Speaking of scholars, I am back to the newest game in the South Tigris series, the Scholars of the South Tigris, which is the next game that sort of followed on from the Wayfarers of the South Tigris, and then that followed on from the West Kingdom trilogy that we are fans of.
Oh, right, nice.
Have you finished? Have you taken the shield back from me, or is it my turn to have the shield?
I had the shield, so
my turn to have the shield. Okay. Alright, our next event is another plague.
Oh dear.
More plagues.
I haven't finished studying how to defeat it yet, so makes
well,
sense.
Try harder.
All your bards are not helping you now. Oh,
nope.
They did.
So I'm going to be drawing I get another money because I am further up on the worker track. We'll gain some stuff. There's my scholar. I have found you. You're busy hiding, consorting with the farmers. Alright, let's do that.
Okay, let's do you. And what else?
I don't have a red one, that's unfortunate. Got a wagon again. Worth keeping there.
Why not?
Go here. Okay. I'm satisfied. Loosely.
That makes no sugar lumps.
Hmm.
Oh, that dude. Okay. You know what? It's fine. He can carry on shitting out where he is.
Yeah, why not?
Okie doke. I'm planned.
Okay. So I shall start things off by doing a. Well, I'll do the laboratory action first. So I'll send these two back to the bag, and I will gain a automation token, which I will place on the laboratory for the moment and deal with that later. Your turn.
Okay. I may have left it a little bit late, but I am going to use the village action to gain a merchant.
Okay, I will bump you. Not bump you up the track. You can go choose.
Building.
Yeah, go choose an action.
I'm going to take the library.
The library. What does the library do? Oh, interesting. Okay.
Knight and scholar equals 2 scholarship.
Yeah, that's potentially bad news. Bear for me. Okay.
It might be pushing it to get much out of it by the end of the game, but we'll see.
Yeah, maybe. All right, I'm going to send these 3 fools back from university. These freshers that are going to go away. I'm going to bounce up there and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will gain 4 monies. And that is my turn.
And I am going to take ship, heading off from Tor down to Chinon and picking up some brocade on the way.
Very nice. Okay, I will have a look at what I've set myself up to do. I'm going to do my bathhouse action, so I get to draw 2 out. Neither are especially helpful. Although, could do that, then do that, then do that, and that. So I've got a white labourer and a white farmer and a brown to put out. I'm going to put the brown worker. I'm going to add them to the town hall, I think. No. I don't know. I'll put them in the laboratory. Sure, why not? Both of those return to the bag. Any other actions from you, sir?
Nope, I'm done.
Okay, then my final action is a town hall action. I'm going to deploy this worker. It's going to come and help you defeat the plague.
Oh, nice.
The scholars need the input of the common farmman to do that, and that was 2 coins.
Yes, yes, we need your input, not guinea pigs or test subjects.
But I dare say you must be exposed to an awful lot of diseases, aren't you? Alright, that is the end of all that. I have a cog that I can place out, and I think I'm going to put it on the laboratory. So all I need now, in order to activate it, is just a farmer. Or a worksman. So I can plunder that engine a little bit.
That could be bad news for me.
Well, as you say, we've got 4 rounds left, so it's either going to be great or it's not going to be good enough. Alright, plague happens, so let's draw out, see what happens. Hey, I've got a labourer, original.
A farmer. I can live without a farmer.
That's fair. They go off and die in a corner. They've died in a corner. Alright, next one moves on to you, and we flip over, and we will have a trading day. So for each of our trading posts, we will gain a silver.
Nice.
Very nice. Okay. I gain a coin. And then we shall gain our 8 workers.
Or 6 workers.
Or 6 workers. Okay.
So that's a given.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a reasonable option. Okay. I'm decided.
I'm still creating. Sorry.
No, you carry on.
So. That might not be a bad shout. Actually, no, that's a better idea. Yeah, why not? That makes sense. Yep, I am sorted.
Okay.
Shall I proceed with actions?
You may proceed with actions, sir.
Okay, well, unsurprisingly, the first thing I'm going to do is build a guild hall in this place.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. 5 guild halls, that's potentially problematic. Alright. I'm going to start things off with the laboratory action. We're going to put that back and gain a gear. Gain some automation. Up in here, up in here. Your turn.
Okay, next up, let's go to the castle and get myself another knight.
Okay.
Now I will be able to draw 7 things. Hooray!
Hooray! Welcome to drawing 7. We have missed you. We have cupcakes.
What's next up for you?
I will... Let's see, where am I? Not there. I will do the Guildhall action as well. Actually, no, I won't. I will do the bathhouse action first. I'm going to draw 2 out and see what I get. Not necessarily what I wanted, but also not the worst thing in the world. Okay, you can go there, and I can put that in back in the bag. Your turn.
I've got a couple of monks in the library.
Nice.
So...
You're going to bump yourself up 2 spaces.
Yeah.
You apparently had a grey worker on that spot.
Apparently I did. Oh well, my mistake. How do you want to handle that? Just
Uh,
leave it there?
Yeah, we can leave it there because you've effectively wasted a monk.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem unfair or anything like that. I don't think it's hindered you. It hasn't really affected me. So
Yeah. Just leave that there. I'll try and remember it for next round.
okay. So you've done that. Have you bumped yourself up 2 spaces?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I will do a university action. Oh, I forgot to take the bathhouse person back as well, so I'll just put those 2 back as in there too. So university action means I go to the end of this track and I get 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I get this scholar. Hooray. Okay.
I have no more actions.
Okay. I'm going to do a Guildhall action, which will let me put a Guildhall out where I am. Which is nice. Then my next action is the horse wagon action. So I get to maneuver my worker, my traveller, go back to Orléans. Which is helpful.
Put some cheese en route if you wish.
I do collect some cheese, you're right. So I'm just going to stack all my light goods if I can. That'll make it easier for counting them later.
Yeah, I don't need to stack mine.
Do you not have many goods?
No.
Oh, I see. You have 1 of everything. Okay, what do I have
Yeah,
left?
I mean, that was the goal, right? To collect a full set of 5.
Yeah, it's set collection. Speaking of set collection, I am collecting my first monk.
Ooh, okay.
So I have him now in play. Oh, God. Throwing it into my hand, trying to take it out again. And then I will go to the town hall and I will place out a trader and a worksman. So I'm going to gain a development point and 2 monies.
Nice.
And I think that is it. So now I'm going to be taking my gear and placing that out. I feel like... Let's see. I've reached the end of a few different tracks. I will put this gear... I'll put it on the Guildhall action. I think. Do I want to? Yeah, I'll put it on the Guildhall action. I'll do that for now, I think. Yeah. Sure, why not? Let's do that. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3 rounds remaining.
Yep.
So we now
minutes off this round.
we are going to get some monies. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I get 5.
You get 5. Nice. Okay. Shield reverts to me. We have our next event, which is taxes. So for every 3 goods, you lose a money. I have... Oh dear. I have 9... no, I have 8 goods. I have 8 goods currently, so I'm okay for now. So I I'm only going to lose 2 monies. That's okay. I have a lot of money. I also gain a money at the start of the turn because of how you're positioned.
Yep.
Ooh boy. Okay. Well, these are indeed the people that I have drawn.
To do that.
Do I have any of those left? Oops. Do. Not very common. Okay. Alright, I have decided.
I am just debating about my last labourer and where, if anywhere, to send them.
Hmm.
You know what? Why not? Okay, I am done.
Okay, I'm up first then with my actions of many actions. I will start off with a Guildhall action. No, I won't. I'll start with the Bathhouse action, I think. It's probably my smarter option. Ooh. Not necessarily what I wanted. Could be what I needed. No. So instead I will put you there. We're getting close to the end of the game. I feel like getting rid is probably not the worst thing in the world. Let's think about that for a second. I definitely want that one. No, you know what? I think I will put you here in preparation. Okay, your turn.
I'm going to go to the monastery and acquire myself another monk.
Okay, is this the final monk or is there one more?
One more.
Oh boy. Hugh B. Okay, I'm going to go to do the Guildhall action. I'm going to build in Orléans. Remember, Orléans is the only place where you can build more than one Guildhall. Alright, your turn.
I'm going to use my ship to sail along to Châtellerault.
Châtellerault? Yeah.
Pick up some brocade.
Very nice.
Means I'll have to pay slightly more in tax, but some
Worth it.
it should be worth it, I think.
Yes. I will also do a ship action. And manoeuvre myself along the rivers. I'll go down this way. Ah, you've already gathered that stuff. No, well, never mind. Nothing to gather going this way. Unless... Actually, may I undo that? If I remember which. I need to find the workers that I used instead.
I mean, it's the ship action, so you're going down the river somewhere.
Yes, I needed the blue. I'm not going to do the ship action. I've changed my mind on that one.
Okay.
There it is. Back in. I'm instead going to do the horse wagon action.
Ah, I see.
I'm going to utilise the fact that I can move by road. And I will go down this way to get the cheese. And And that will also cost me an extra resource, but that will take me to Verzon. And gets me in a good position to get something beneficial. Alright, your turn.
Yeah. Well, while you are stuffing yourself on cheese, I'm studying at the library, advancing 2 more notches on here and getting myself 5 coins for it.
Very nice. That has been a lucrative little track for you.
Yeah, though letting you have the advantage in farmers seems to have been quite lucrative for you.
It's a slow money grab, but it has seemed to have, I've gotten some good resources out of it. Okay, now I will do the ship action that I had planned. In fact, I think at this point I'm just using it to migrate around. And I will come down here to, where are we? Bruges, or Borg, and I will get this silk. Okay, your turn.
I think I am out of actions. Yep, I'm out of actions.
Okay, I have one final action left to play, which is the town hall action. I'm going to take one of my little farmers, and I'm going to throw him out here into the canalization, and use him just to go up 1 step on this track. So I'm now at least getting 5 times the number of my different guild halls.
Yeah.
Which is beneficial. Okay, we have our income thing, so I'm going to have to pay 3 money, because I have 9 resources.
And I'm going to have to pay 2, because I've got 6.
Okay. The shield reverts to you. For your final turn as the first player, we're going to have a trading day, which means we're going to get income based on the number of guild halls we have out. I gain a coin back, and then we gain our people. We'll go in there.
That is good.
Now, this is where it gets into the phase where people will maybe want to pay attention to what your opponent is doing, because order of operations may come into effect when placing it for certain actions. Because if Dom is going to be getting himself a monk, there is no point in me going to try and get a monk, because he is going first.
No, I don't think I'm going to be getting a monk.
Very sporting of you to tell me that.
I'm just debating the optimal play for my monks.
Mm-hmm. You still have a grey worker on the library. Didn't you do that last turn?
Yeah, I did. I put one back there because I drew another one this round, and that's a sensible place to store it.
Gotcha. You effectively already played him.
Yeah. Okay, let's go big. Now, I can't go to university again.
You can, it's just not necessarily as beneficial.
But I wouldn't get anything for it.
Are we talking real life here or in the game?
In the game.
Both things. It's true in both instances.
So... neither of you are an awful lot of use. Yeah, let's just put you somewhere vaguely out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
That'll do. Okay, placements sorted.
Okay, you are first player, so go ahead and decide what you are doing.
I am going to the town hall, and I'm sending 2 monks off to the papal conclave,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to get me 6 money and a citizen.
It is. I am also going to the town hall as my first action. There. Whoops.
It's on the end of the row.
I know. I ended up steering my board around and getting myself dizzy, so I just dropped it so I could reset. I am going to defeat the plague, and I will gain the citizen and 2 money. Not as impressive, but I am still getting something.
Yeah.
Blech. Alright, 2 citizens. Not the worst thing in the world. Your turn, sir.
I am going to build a guild hall right here.
Okay. Alright, I'm also going to... I want to build a guild hall now. Fun fact, if you defeat the plague, you can still get plagued. Yeah, that's one of the weird things. There is one of these building cards that does let you ignore those negative effects, and there's one of these over here, if you activate it.
It's like COVID, you know, we defeat the plague and then a new variant pops up.
Exactly. I'm going to activate the bathhouse, so I'm going to draw 2 out and see what I get. White and red. Can those benefit me? I guess I can set myself up for something a little bit later. Let's take the red work. Can't go at the scholar strap. Why did I put you back into university, you stupid boy? Let's put the soldier back into the town hall, and I might be able to do that again later. Dom, your turn.
I've got no more actions. I pass.
Okay. Hopefully you'll set up for a good big turn next turn.
Nope.
Oh.
Depends on what I draw, but I do have a plan.
Okay.
Of sorts.
I'm going to do the laboratory, and I will get myself another gear. So it's got something I can do to enhance things next turn. I will do my guild hall action. Everything falls over drunk, apparently. Guild hall here. I will use the horse wagon to meander along a road to get some wine. I'll go down to Saint-Amand-Montstrat. With the wine, hooray. And then that leaves me with a stranded merchant who's doing things. Oh no, I've got these 2. I will do a monastery action. I'll get my monk. Get the last monk of the game into my bag. My bag is very overfull. That is the problem. I've got 18 chips in there. Not necessarily going to be beneficial. And then my town hall action, which will be to do a peace treaty and gain 2 more money. Right, that is me done. So we have our action, which is we gain 1 for each we have out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for me.
And 6 for me as well.
And then the shield passes 1 final time as we go into our final round. And our final event, taxes. Oof. That's unfortunate for someone who has been focusing on goods. Well, I gain a money for being further on the track. And then I will get my 8 workers out. Please be useful. Some of you are useful. Oh, I forgot to put my gear out. Bet standby. I don't know where's going to be beneficial for me to put this. Put it over the horse wagon. I think that's probably my better option. Do that. Make sure I get a Guildhall action in place. Do this. Let's get some more. I can't put you there. So you might as well go over there. Useless. Alright, I am chosen.
I am nearly there.
Okay.
You're just fairly useless, aren't you?
Well, that is what's on my performance review. Oh, you weren't talking to me, sorry.
Anything intelligence I can do? Not really. That will do. Okay, I've picked.
Okay.
So, when you are ready.
Okay, so I will start things off with a Guildhall action. Actually, no, I won't. I will start things off. The Weary Warlord, who will win? I genuinely don't know at this point.
Luke is going to win.
I don't know. That's... Ooh, that...
I am very confident in that.
I don't know. So I've just drawn a grey and a red. Where can I put them? They have unfortunately gone on the wrong side. I will put back the red worker because the grey scholars are wild for me. So I could put him anywhere and he would benefit me. I'll put him in the farmhouse. How much does Luke have to win by in order for Dom to get third place? Alright, that is your turn, sir.
Okay, I am going to just shoot along. Actually, no.
No, tutorial anyway.
No, I'll do my library first.
Okay. We've done well that we've managed to avoid torture.
Yeah. I think you only really at risk of that early in the game, aren't you?
Yeah, I think we've built our engines sufficiently so we've managed to avoid it. Oh, nice. Picks up another citizen. This is what's worrying me, the Weary Warlord. Dom has got... Dom has got a lot of citizens and he has gone quite high up the prestige track. So that's what's concerning me.
But you're also quite high up that track.
I'm high.
You've managed to build plenty of guild halls at least.
But I've only got 2 citizens to your 4. So I'm not convinced it's going to necessarily do well. Mind you, I have got a lot more goods, so we'll see how it goes. The Weary Warlord says that I usually go by a score difference of 1/3 of the maximum score. But I get what you mean, Dark Paladin. I think that is a... I think I'm at risk here. I don't know. If Dom can get himself up that last 2 spaces... This game is Orléans. That we are playing today, Weary Warlord. This is... What? This is the 30th... This is ranked 30th on the Board Game Geek. So I am going to kind of doesn't. Okay, I'm going to do the Guildhall action. And just try to put them in the hand for now, for whatever reason. Okay. And place a Guildhall down here. Alright, that is my turn.
Okay, I'm going to drive my wagon.
Okay.
And go along to Argenton-sur-Creuse.
Very nice. Get yourself silk whilst you're at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't have many goods, but the ones I have are high quality.
You have got a lot of high quality goods. I've just got a lot of cheese. Speaking of, I'm going to use my horse wagon to...
You're going to say you had some kind of cheese power?
I wish. I'm going to use my horse wagon to get myself some cheese. Let's see. I have 11... I have 12... Hang on, how many goods do I have? Oh, I have 12 goods. Yeah, bother. Oh, well, never mind. Right, your turn, Dom.
Right, what else do I have left? Ah, yes, I can build myself another guild hall. That's
Yes.
what I was doing.
This is what concerns me. Okay. I'll do the village action. Don't think any of the buildings that are remaining are going to benefit me a whole lot. They're far too late to have to be putting one of those out. So what I will do instead is I will gain a fisherman, and just gain 3 monies for it. Okay.
And then the only things I have left are my town hall people. So my scholar can go and help out with the peace treaty, and my labour can go and build the Red Cathedral.
Yep.
It'll get me 4 coins.
The Red Cathedral's a different game. That's a whole different board game. Okay. I will do farmhouse action. So that will progress me up this track, get me another farmer. Unnecessarily, but I will gain a silk or a spindle, or whatever that is supposed to be. Thread.
Well, I believe.
It could be wool. That would make sense. So I've got that in place. Do you have any further actions?
Nope.
Okay. Snap. There we go. Do I have any further actions? I'm not sure I do. I have 1 laboratory action left. So why not? Let's do the laboratory thing and gain a gear. And that, I think, ends my game as well. I will, for the sake of putting it out, put it over there. And
it's
then...
not quite ended the game. We still have to pay our taxes.
We do still have to pay our taxes. So I have 13 goods, so I have to pay 3. No, 4.
Whereas I have 7, so I merely have to pay 2.
So we have tied on 45 money.
That's quite neat.
Which is handy. Okay, so now it is time for the final scoring. So let's go through the various score things as we have. So, the player who has built the most trading stations gains the final citizen, is a thing. But we have both built the same amount. So I don't think no one receives that additional citizen tile that was floating around somewhere.
Fair enough.
Wherever they are. I have no idea where that tile is. I think it's over here somewhere. I don't know.
Well, we don't have to find it because nobody's getting it.
No. So, don't get into any trouble about me the way we all says. They will be right back. Okay. So, we score 1 point per coin that we have. So, we both start on 45. Then we are going to gain some goods. So, we're going to gain 5 points for each brocade that we have, 4 points for each wool, 3 for each wine, 2 for cheese, and 1 for grain. So that is 5 for me. Plus 8. Plus 9. Plus 14. Okay, so that's put me there. Okay, then we have our trading stations and citizen tiles. So we are going to score for each trading station that you have built and citizen tile that you have collected. We're going to multiply that total by our development status. And I think this is where you've probably got me. So I have 5, 6, 7. No, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7, 8, 9. Times by 5. So I get 45 points for that.
You only get 55.
You got 55.
Yeah, that's not a massive difference.
Okay. So my total final score is 126.
Oh man, 125.
Oh,
wow. Okay, that
was a lot
close.
closer than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, I thought you'd slashed me with all your goods.
I thought you'd thrash me with your big progression up here. What did you? So you got 55. So you must have gotten. So you got 70. What? You got 70 for your.
For the coins and goods, yeah.
Yeah, I got 81.
20...
Ooh.
Wow, that's a good close finish.
That was a very nice close finish. Well done, Dom. Thank you very much for playing that.
Yeah, congratulations to you, the victor.
Huzzah. Right, we are going to go away now because it is quite late for us. Let's see who is up and about. I'm almost certain I know the answer to this one. No, they're not. Is there anyone doing board game stuff that we know? There is not. So we will wrap it up for there today. Reminder, there is no D&D for us on Friday, but we will be back on Wednesday next week to play another board game before Laura and I head off to Aircon. So if you're going to be up there, do feel free to come and say hi to us. Until then, thank you very much for joining us for this evening. Dom, thank you again for playing.
Thank you for inviting me.
You are very welcome, and we shall see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.